Good evening, Nimbus community. I'm very, very happy to be addressing you once again. I know our plan was for me to be doing this much, much more frequently in the coming year. Unfortunately, some of the global economic and other events have provided us with quite a bit of challenges. But I do plan on again reinstituting a more frequent stream to the community in the coming quarters. Let's wait for about a minute to let everybody in, and we will begin. Okay, so the format for this live stream will be will be a little bit shorter than usual. What I'd asked the team to do was to compile a set of the most pressing questions that have been coming in from the community. I'd like to address these questions. Some of these will be given. Some of these I will provide quite a bit of detail around, while others will be the details will be provided in subsequent. Via our blog and other materials that we will provide the community. So let's begin. So question number one reads, what led to the temporary suspension of the lend and borrow apps, and will they be working again? So I assure you they absolutely will be working again. Let me provide you with a bit of detail around this. So a bug related to premature price feed scripts caused an imbalance between supply and demand. In turn, this imbalance resulted in inaccurate APYs and interest accrual. To amend this bug, we temporarily suspended the Nimbus Lend and Borrow dApps, and the team is actively working on that bug fix. In fact, we've already calculated and paid users who have made deposits and did not receive their full share of rewards due to this bug. We have also made changes to the NNFT functionality by removing the Lend app from the strategy and directing all deposits to NBU and GNBU pools. Our team is now testing and republishing the contracts on the testnet. Once the results come out and we can optimistically publish the contracts on the platform, I'm assuming, but we're approximating the time frame for this bug fix and the lend and borrow apps to start functioning again roughly 3 weeks from now. And I want to thank the team for being so vigilant and so quick and working so hard during these challenging times to get this taken care of. Once we've achieved this rollout, this new rollout 3 weeks from now, we are going to continue to gradually improve the functionality by rewriting the contracts, auditing the new contracts, and finally implementing the upgrades. Keep in mind, this will be done in parallel. We aren't looking for any stopping of service or functionality in any way. Question number two, when will we have the new NNFTs besides the existing Smart LP NFT? So we've developed the infrastructure for the next NNFT. It will be called Smart Staker. The new NNFT will underlie a strategy for the staking dApp. We'll be working on its smart contract script and auditing it sometime in the latter part of April. So looking forward to seeing some of that functionality, at least for testing and auditing purposes, at the end of this month. So how will this new NNFT work? Here are some high-level points. So minimum entrance barrier is going to be 500 BUSD or 1 BNB. Automatic distribution of assets are going to be as follows. So NBU and GNBU staking will continue to be targeting to achieve a 60% APY, and the breakdown will be as follows. 35% going to NBU soft staking, 35% will be going to GNBU soft staking, and the remaining 30% going to soft staking of an identified token on an external platform, one which we will look to achieve one of the highest APIs in the marketplace. Another factor of the new NNFT, users can burn tokens 30 days after purchase. And last but not least, we will continue to support peer-to-peer, the peer-to-peer option for smart staker and NFTs, just like we have in our current functionality. Very high level points. So question number 3 is asking about affiliate program 3.1, a confirmation that we are going to have the former network of 25 levels, which was there in the past. So starting from phase 1, participants will have all the lines they've had when they first registered. All data that has been available and all the data that we had available was copied and migrated. We know that the transfer has had some delays and bugs, but this too will be fixed, and we're targeting the beginning of next week for that to be in place. Very high level points around affiliate program 3.1. There will be no vesting period. The dominant branch rule has been redacted, and the update number 3 for that one is, as we've already mentioned, bonuses will be calculated for the entire referral tree. Now, there's quite a bit of detail related to all 3 of those updates. For the purposes of time and the group that we have here, what I've asked the team is to outline all of those details with all the fine points via our blog and additional materials, which we will provide to all affiliate program participants. Question number 4, news about partnerships and some of the earlier mentions that I had for a strategy for Nimbus to have an exchange with alternative assets or anything else that we're targeting. This is an extremely important part of our strategy. We very much realize that beginning in, which has already starting to be in 2022, alternative assets and the need for better handling of NFTs, the current NFT marketplace, adding additional efficiencies to the transactions of those NFTs, which are growing exponentially in demand and liquidity, is going to be very important. I want to make sure that our team, our community, is very, very well positioned to take advantage of all of those inflows of capital and that massive, massive demand. What I don't want us to do is I don't want us to do it, as poorly as I feel that the general marketplace has been doing this. And we certainly don't want to participate in digital assets that have very little meaning or just high-level utility-based. What I can tell you now is that we are very much looking into whether this type of solution should be coming directly from Nimbus, driven by our tech team, or what I'm feeling would be perhaps a better idea, and that's to get very, very specific, very, very strong existing strategic partnerships. As we discuss this over the next month or two, I will be providing the community with updates in which direction we are going. I just want you to be very, rest assured that this is a very, very important portion of our strategy for growing Nimbus, growing our community, and growing participation. I will definitely provide you with more updates as we make our decisions and as we have those conversations. Question number 5, please give us more context about the NNFT liquidity pools and its interaction with possible price growth in relation to the existing tokens. Again, everything that I just talked to you about regarding strategic partnerships and additional functionalities and automated NNFTs, all of that is related to us wanting to affect the existing token prices and token base of Nimbus tokens. So we are currently working on a second version of Nimbus Swap, and will focus all efforts on the development of this project. Moreover, a new reward distribution schema will be used to bootstrap a new inflow of liquidity that will benefit the existing users of the Nimbus Swap. In March, the team executed, in March, the team has executed Nimbus's first buyback of 5.5 million NBU tokens from the marketplace. I assure you that we're doing this because we have a tremendous amount of, belief in Nimbus token, and we want to make sure that the community knows that we are also looking to use buybacks to show you that support of that token and what we believe we'll be able to do with this product going into the future. Question 6, and I believe this is the last one. What happens to Nimbus? What will happen, or what is happening with the Nimbus stablecoin Stan, and will it launch? So, without going into much detail, a lot of our future strategies, whether it's with alternative assets or any kind of leveraging of and your standard NFTs across any type of asset type, we believe that a stablecoin will be the fundamental core of that execution. We don't want to be tied. We don't want to be tied to independently moving tokens and stable assets. So it certainly will. It's certainly on our roadmap. It certainly will be a big part of all of our future executions. The one thing that we need to be very, very cautious of is we do speak with regulators quite frequently. We do follow the regulatory environment very, very closely, and we feel that the ambiguity or the indecision of structure or formalized structure will be a little bit on the dangerous side or premature side to actually roll out our own stablecoin for now. I do hope and do want us to target that if regulators do provide a bit more context and a bit more clear messaging and a bit more clear structure, even working with us, that we will be looking to start targeting to get a stable coin at least in the works sometime in by the third quarter of 2022, with the hope of it being considerably sooner. But again, we want to make sure that we protect the community. We want to make sure that even though we are not in a fully regulated space, that we can preemptively see what that space is going to be asking of us in the future, and see how much of that we can develop or implement before regulators actually start enforcing a lot of this space. And the great part of us being able to do that, as I mentioned during my first stream, our staff has a tremendous amount of experience in the financial services space and the regulatory space, and that again will give us a tremendous leg up, a leg up on our competition or any of the competitors or service providers in this space. This is the end of the question, at least the questions that we've compiled. I want to reiterate that I did promise to have these on a more regular basis. I want to work with my team to make sure that starting in May or June at the very, very latest, that I will start to have a monthly stream with the community. It's something that I'm very, very, very fond of. It's something that I believe is very, very important. I want you guys to have more access to me. I want to have more Q&A sessions. I want to be a little bit more transparent in the strategies that we're looking to implement and how we're looking to affect Nimbus Coin and the community, and how we're going to drive more liquidity and more traffic to us. I think we have one of the greatest teams in the world. I think that nobody else really deserves this more than our community and the team that I have working for me. Again, I want to thank everyone for this opportunity. I look forward to speaking with you much more frequently in the very near future. And with the tough times that economic and global times that we're having, I just want to say God bless everyone and their families. Be safe, and looking forward to speaking with you very shortly.